UFC Fight Night London, Evloev versus Murphy just took place literally 20 minutes ago. And wow, I was going to go through the entire card, give my reaction and breakdown of every fight on the card. But I just I just witnessed a rigged fight in 2026. I kid you not. I shit you not. Movsar Evloev versus Lerone Murphy is the most rigged fight one of the most rigged fights I've ever seen in my life, allegedly in GTA. Listen, let me just give you the rundown. Round one starts, and it's the most uneventful, the most spar-like, the slowest, dumbest attacks you've ever seen from two fighters who are supposed to be number 1 and 3 in the featherweight division. These guys are 145 pounds, throwing like heavyweights, genuinely throwing combinations like heavyweights. It's not like a Bionicle where they're reading these attacks. It's not calculated and technical. They are genuinely throwing like heavyweights. They're doing back fist once every 45 seconds. They probably threw 10 back fists, back elbows combined in the fight. Maybe more than that. But they're throwing at each other and they're hardly hurting each other. They are not harming each other whatsoever. Lerone Murphy is getting the better in these exchanges, but Movsar is touching Lerone Murphy's nose with the jab. But Lerone Murphy's landing the better shots for sure. Now, you probably see this, right? 1 or 0 takedowns for Movsar Evloev. Movsar Evloev shot 0 takedowns in this fight in the first round. Movsar Evloev has shot on every single opponent that he's ever fought in the UFC in the first round. Every single one of them, he has shot on them or gotten a takedown on every single one of them besides Lerone Murphy, the guy who is susceptible to being taken down. Now get this. No, Lerone Murphy wins that round. Fine. Round 2 comes. Surely Movsar Evloev is going to shoot another takedown. Movsar Evloev shoots no takedown in the second round. It's another striking round on the feet where, again, Lerone Murphy is getting the better of. You see the strikes here, 24-17, 14-11. These aren't strikes that Movsar isn't landing. It's not like an Alex Pereira situation where, so-and-so landed more than Alex, but Alex is landing left hooks and he's landing hard low kicks. And no, this is Movsar Evloev. He's not landing anything of significance that is hurting Lerone Murphy. Lerone Murphy is outlanding Movsar clearly. And I picked Movsar to win this fight. And I think Movsar is better than Lerone Murphy. This is not a biased thing. This is not anything. Unbiased as possible, Lerone Murphy won the first 2 rounds. He outlanded Movsar. Movsar shot no takedowns whatsoever in the first 2 rounds of a fight against Lerone Murphy. They both looked horrible. Slowish. I wish I could show you. I would get copyrighted. I would get my channel terminated if I tried. I can't show you, obviously. But Lerone Murphy and Movsar Evloev are throwing at each other like they weigh 265 pounds. And still no takedown for Movsar Evloev. Round 3 comes, and there is still no takedown for Movsar Evloev in shooting on Lerone Murphy. None. There's none. It says 1. I'm going to tell you what happened. Throughout the entirety of the first 2 rounds, Movsar has Lerone Murphy backed up against the cage in high guard, doing that little stance switch. His front leg is right there, just perfect for a single, perfect for a double. Perfect. He never shot a single takedown. Lerone Murphy is up against the cage. Movsar is in close. Lerone Murphy goes up for a knee, like hits the chest or neck of Movsar, and Movsar's like, fuck, you hit me here, I may as well just grab you. And he grabs him, takes him down with ease. Easiest takedown of Movsar Evloev's career. He takes Lerone Murphy down, and like clockwork, Lerone Murphy gets up. And I'm looking like this is the easiest takedown I've ever seen in my life from Movsar Evloev that he could just get and get some control. But he just let Lerone Murphy back up. And not only did he let him back up, he let him up and shoved him away. And they got back at range and was swinging at each other. Now, Movsar did land the better shots than Lerone Murphy in this round, for sure. So this is a Movsar round. It's 2-1. I've mapped it out for you. It's 2-1. We go to round 4. Now Movzar is starting to shoot takedowns, but he's not really. But he's also landing way better than Lerone Murphy, and it's still a back and forth affair of just completely dog shit, non-technical striking between the two of the 4 best featherweights on the planet. It's 2 back and forth. They're going back and forth, but Movzar is just starting to take over at this point. He's landing better strikes. He's throwing wheel kicks and they're fucking hitting the guard and shit. They're both horrible. They're both looking horrible. But Movzar is shooting takedowns and he's getting them and he's throwing little pitter-patter punches now. Movzar's takedowns that he was shooting, he shot 3 takedowns of 4. He got 3 of 4 takedowns. Every single takedown that Movzar shot, it was the easiest thing in the world to get his hands locked, take Lerone Murphy down, do a little punches. Every single takedown, it looked like it was just so easy. And it looked so rigged to the point where Movzar has Lerone Murphy's back standing, and he goes for a lateral drop and a switch, and he gets it, and he just let Lerone get back up. It was such a rigged fight. I promise I'm not forcing it. Like, look, I can go to Twitter right now. I can go to Twitter. Hopefully nothing pops up crazy. I'm going to show you this, too. I'm glad the scorecard came out. Please nothing pop up crazy on Twitter. Please, Please nothing popped up. Please nothing pop up crazy. Please. Look, Mark Goddard and the UFC rigged this fight. Rigged. We just witnessed a rigged fight. This fight was rigged. But like I said, Movzar is taking Lerone down at will, doing whatever he wants to him, but then he's just letting him back up. They're getting the range. They looked like Dana White, Sean Shelby, Mick Maynard, Hunter Campbell, TKO, all of them looked at Movzar, held his family at gunpoint and said, if you shoot a single fucking takedown on this motherfucker in the first 2 rounds, we are killing your family. That's what it looked like. That's genuinely what it looked like. I'm not exaggerating. It looked in the first 2 rounds that they told Movzar, if you shoot a single takedown, if you even feint a takedown, because he didn't even feint a takedown. He didn't feint a level change. He didn't act like he was going for a leg or anything. They looked like they told him, if you shoot, you're not getting a title shot and we're killing your family. That's what it looked like in GTA. That's what it looked like. But round 4 is clear Movzar round. But wait. I didn't even get to the best part yet. Movzar kicks Lerone Murphy in the nuts. Now, it's the second groin strike. The first strike happened in round 2, I believe, but it grazed the cup. It wasn't a real groin strike. He didn't even get a warning for that. Lerone got about 30 seconds of time, and then they resumed the fight. This one was an inside low kick right to the center of the cup. Clearly wasn't intentional at all, and there wasn't even a lot of steam on it because, again, they're sparring with each other. Lerone, he's like, yeah. Mark Goddard stops it at first. Then Lerone goes over and goes, sits down for a second. Then it looks like Mark Goddard is about to give Movzar Evloev a stern warning. He's like, we can't have this, that, and the third. And then he takes a point away. He takes a point away for basically 1 groin strike. Mark Goddard lets people get away with murder before he ever thinks about taking a point away. Mark Goddard will let someone hump someone up against the cage for 4 minutes and 30 seconds and will not get them off of the cage. Mark Goddard will let anything happen in a fight, but he took a point away for that 1 groin strike. So now, all Lerone Murphy needs to do is win the round, and he won the fight. And everyone in the planet, in everyone's eyes. Did he do that? No, he lost. And he tore his groin trying a spinning elbow. The same spinning elbow that he KO'd Aaron Pico with. He tried that on Movzar and he tore his fucking hip. Round 5. Just complete and utter domination from Movzar Evloev. He's taking him down by will at this point. Beating him up on the ground with like punches to the side of the head. They're standing up, jabbing a little bit, taking him down. The whole shebang bang. What I just told you is the definition of a draw. Lerone Murphy won the first 2 rounds. Movzar won the last 3 rounds. That's 48-47. But in round 4, Movzar Evloev got a point taken away. That is 47-47. The definition of a draw across the board, not a split draw, just of a draw. Even, I mean, Luke Thomas, which I know how people feel about Luke Thomas. Luke Thomas said Movzar wins. What? This is the definition of a draw. 47-47 is the right score. For the scorecards read 48-49 or 48-46, 48-46, and then 47-47, which is the right scorecard. This is the only right scorecard. Clemens Werner. Derek Clearly and Ben Cartledge, I don't know what you're doing. This was the biggest example of a rigged fight I've ever seen in my life, and it's a disgrace that we have to watch this every week. It's just a clearly rigged fight. Like, I'm not the person to scream that out. There's a couple rigged fights in UFC history that I feel like were rigged. John Jones, Cyril Gane, Amanda Nunes, Juliana Pena won. Certain fights are just rigged. I just think they're rigged. Israel Adesanya, Robert Whittaker 2, pre-written scorecards to me. But this was just so obvious to me. Movzar Evloev clearly was just so much better than Lerone Murphy on the ground, in the clinch, wherever he wanted. And he never took it there. Never. He never, ever took it there. And when he did, he had it, and he pushed him away. It was just it was so clear that the objective was to make a tie or make a draw so Gene Silva could get the title shot. That's what it looked like the UFC were doing. And Mark Goddard laid it up for them. And it looked like the judges just didn't get the memo. Maybe Clemens Werner is the only one that got the memo, because this is how the fight should have been scored. There's no way you give Movzar round one. No way. No way you give him round one. No way. Oh my gosh, man. Man, this sport makes it harder and harder every day to be a fan, but I guess I'm going to try to get this I'm going to try to get the whole card prediction or breakdown out for y'all if I can. Otherwise, y'all have a great night.